fashion house, and I'm going to be evaluating their website and seeing if it meets standards for people of all abilities. But before I do that, I want to give some summary of what WalkEgg is. Now, WalkEgg is something that I just learned about when I was doing this internship, and now I am learning more and more about it every day. I'm learning how to build sites with it, and I'm learning how to evaluate sites with it. And why this matters is having this more open idea can help you build technology that's for everyone, not just for normal, because the truth is there is no normal. Just because a majority or some group of the population functions in a certain way doesn't mean that technology should only be built for them. All technology, especially the web, I believe is a right, and it should be given and open to everyone, from all cultures, economic status, socio status, um, abilities, and everyone. Honestly, it should be a web for everyone. And a web for everyone is a good book. It's a Rosenfeld Media book, and it's a good book to teach you about lots of these principles and help you learn them. And I strongly recommend you read it. But WCAG is split up into 4 principles. They're perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. Perceivable means that everything can be interpreted and taken in. So this means alternate text for images for people that can't render images or can't see images. It also means that anything that could be interpreted in a different way. For example, people that are hard of hearing, that there's subtitles for them so they can still read and take in media content. Operable means people can function through the content, for example, with a joystick or a keyboard. Everything from tab navigation to a video player. And this is often why sliders or carousels are found to be inappropriate for people of all abilities, because they often take too long for people to read and they quickly change, and you can't tab through them usually or interact with them with ways besides normal ways, and there is no normal. So anyway, I don't want to get into my plight for why carousels are bad, but operable means that everyone is able to use it and manipulate your content, and then understandable means that they can actually understand the content. So you're writing in a way that is not confusing, that everything can be understood and put to use, and they can learn from it. And then robust means that you have compatibility with all sorts of technologies, from a joystick to a keyboard to speech input to a screen reader to anything from the future, what may exist, like virtual reality headsets, to anything as old as CRT monitors. So just that your technology functions everywhere. And now I'm going to take lots of these principles and I'm going to run them against the Louis Vuitton website, and let's see what happens. And you can find this stuff at www.w3.org/TR, which means that it's a full recommendation, WCAG 2.0 or 20. And there's also the understanding website, which is right here, which helps you understand these guidelines a little bit more. So now that I'm at the Louis Vuitton website, we can see that from a usability perspective, they've set a maximum width right here of the header and of the images, which is good so it doesn't repeat, but it can make it look a little bit awkward. But we're not looking at usability or fashion, not fashion. We're not looking at visual evaluation right now, but we're doing accessible variation. But the first thing that I noticed is you can see the main content of the site is all hover navigation, and you can't navigate the site. Well, I don't know that yet, but I assume that if it's hover, you can't do it on mobile, because mobile devices don't support hover, which means that it can be very difficult for people to interact with the site and move any further if they can't hover, especially because mobile traffic has surpassed, I believe, desktop traffic in web use. So let's see if we can still tab through the website, and let's see what happens there, because tabbing is a big thing for screen readers, and seeing if we can go through the site that way. So let's do that. So I'm tabbing through, and we first saw the Louis Vuitton logo had that blue bar on it. That's focus visible. So it's showing that we were focused on that field, which is good. Everything should show that it's being focused. But now, as we see, I'm tabbing through things, and on the navigation that I was tabbing through, nothing lit up, including the actual option, the drop down option didn't show up. So if I wasn't able to hover, I wouldn't be able to see them, and nor did I have any sort of significance or indicator showing that I was on those navigation items. But then now it's at the summer 2016 collection, and I can visit that. And but let's continue doing the tabbing through. So now it goes to this ad or this promotion right here at the bottom, and then if I keep on going, it goes to the one on the right. So the focused order seems to be good. It's not jumping around everywhere. It's going from top to down, left to right, which is good because the majority of the languages are left to right. But if done 100% properly, it should still function right to left when the languages are different. But I'm not going to get involved in that right now. And that's just another thing saying there's no normal. But as we go through, the call to action, discover the handbags button was lit up. And now I don't see where it's focused now, but now that I go towards the bottom, it's going through these bottom ads at these promos at the bottom, which is good. And then now we're at the footer, and we see it again highlights the Louis Vuitton website name, and it has the blue focus visible, so I can tell that I'm focused there. And now I'm going through the navigation and the footer, a navigation footer, and it seems it's going fine, except the what's happening on hover right here, the white stuff that happens on hover, I don't get that when I am focused on it. When usually hover styles and focus styles should be the same, just so that there's an equality in terms of the people that are either tabbing through or hovering. And but I'll get to that visual aspect in a second. And then we'll see, we finished tabbing through. It didn't go to the sitemap, which is interesting, but it went back to the top, and now it's focused in the Chrome Omni bar. And when I go through, but now I notice that it's stuck. This is called a keyboard trap, where now I'm stuck. I went through one series of tabs, but I can't go back to the beginning. So I'm stuck at this bottom of the page, and I'll get out of it by using my mouse, but keep in mind many people don't use mice, and it looks like I clicked on something. But let's go here to the men's section, and let's do bags, and let's see if we can go through that. But before I do that, I wanted to show another big thing that's part of WCAG is people that have low contrast or can't tell things that need high contrast to see, or people that are colorblind. We see right here the black or this dark brown, and then we have this lighter brown text and this drop-down navigation. There isn't much contrast between that, which can be very difficult for people to read. So that could be something that could definitely be improved. But it does light up white on hover, but then again, not everyone can hover. And then when you click on it, it does turn white. So definitely some color contrast improvements can be made. But let's go here to messenger bags, and let's see what else we can do. So there's a video right here. Let's play it. And it took me to a whole separate page. And it's actually not a video, which is interesting. But I guess there's discover the collection, and that animation happened. And we can view this video. Let's see if we can tab through this thing. And oh, did you see that? It jumped from LV now to stores, but it didn't do the things in the middle. So that's interesting. There wasn't a good focus order there. And now it's doing the stuff at the bottom. And here there wasn't a keyboard trap because it went through the footer at the bottom, and then it went through the top, and now it's back at the top. Now we can see it went from LV now to stores and didn't do World of Louis Vuitton, women or men. So now there isn't a keyboard trap, but there is some focus order issues. And these are some things that, just a really quick review, there's a lot more that you can do with WCAG, like if things should flash or things should play a certain amount of times, that could cause seizures, or other things like that. And I strongly recommend looking at WCAG as a great document to help you in the things that you're building. But the two things that we looked at right now, which are very common and easy to fix usually, are the focus order, focus visible, and keyboard navigation, which means things flow through with a keyboard, that we can see what's happening through a keyboard, and we can also and we can also have a good order so things flow top to bottom, left to right. And another next big thing that you can do to test if your site functions well is testing a screen reader to test name, role, and value to see if it shows what item you're currently focused on, and it'll be able to read the content, and it can tell you the status of the content, if it's a checkbox, if it's checked or not, if you're typing in it, because lots of people, especially those hard of sight or vision, can do use screen readers, and that's another thing we can test. And you can activate your screen reader by downloading one on Windows, or you can go into accessibility settings on your Mac and system preferences and turn on the voiceover, and that works really well. So these are some ways that you can check if a website is accessible or usable, and it's important in making equal and equitous websites for everyone. Thank you guys very much, and I hope you learn from